Hey everybody, it's that time of week again. This is War Boss Fitz, and it's time for me to tell you how another Grimdark Future faction works. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoy hearing me talk about one of these factions every week, because we're going to go through all of them eventually, and then after that, go back and revisit some of the ones we've already gone over, because things change. This week we are covering the DAO Union, known for their really cool looking battle suits, gun drones, and long-range infantry firepower. So let's move into the DAO Union with the special rules. And the first thing we go over is we go over the hero abilities that you can use to increase the power of your different squads. And there's only two. One of them is elemental power. Once per activation before attacking, pick one other friendly unit within 12, which may move by up to 6. And the second one is volley fire. This model and its unit gets relentless. If they already had relentless, they get extra hits on unmodified rolls of 5 to 6 instead. The only other character power they have is a caster power, and we'll go over that when we go to the spells. You can see just by looking at the names of the other special rules, they do a lot of drone work. So let's go ahead and start at the top. Accelerator drone. This model and its unit gets plus 6-inch range when shooting. Beacon. Friendly units using ambush may ignore distance restrictions from enemies if they are deployed within 6 inches of this model. Good shot. This model shoots at quality 4. Inhibitor drone. Enemies get -3 movement when trying to charge this model and its unit. Shield drone. This model and its unit get stealth. Shield wall. This model gets +1 to defense rolls against hits that are not from spells. Spotting laser. Once per activation before attacking, this model may pick one enemy unit within 30 inches in line of sight and roll 1 die. On a 4+, place a marker on it. Friendly units may remove markers from their target to get +X to hit rolls when shooting, where X is the number of removed markers. We'll go over that more in a second, and then that'll definitely come up in the game that we have at the end. Stealth drone. Enemy units over 18 inches away get -1 to hit rolls when shooting per drone. You can see that there's a whole lot of different power that are going to be given to your units for these drones. And the way that combining units work, you're going to be able to get multiple drones per squad, so you can stack some of these. Like the stealth drone specifically calls it out, if you have more than one, you get an additional -1 to hit rolls for the enemy per drone. So if you have 2 in the squad, an enemy over 18 inches away, it's -2 to hit you. But remember, 6 is always hit in one-page rules, so you might get diminishing returns on that after a while. The shield drone, given the unit stealth, that's always good. That is, the enemy gets -1 to hit you when it's outside of 9. So if you have a shield drone coupled with a stealth drone or 2, that could be multiple minuses to hit. Inhibitor drone, given the enemy -3 movement when trying to charge this model and its unit. This army is not built for close combat. There are a few things you can do that you could tool a unit up to be close combat oriented, but in the big scheme of things, you're going to be spending way too many points to try to get something to do what it's not really supposed to do. So an inhibitor drone is going to be really good to keep your unit safe and away from chain swords, power weapons, and massive claws. So with all that out of the way, let's sit down and talk about spotting lasers. This is what the DAO Union, this is going to be their specific thing. You could take spotting lasers, you could take multiple spotting lasers per unit. It's going to be on a spotting drone. So you could take multiple drones per unit, more if you combine the squads, and then your characters can take them as well. So what you do is whenever your unit sees an enemy before it shoots, you roll a dice. On a 4 up, you put a marker on it. You roll as many dice as you have spotting lasers in your squad. Let's go basic and say you have a grunt squad with 2 spotting lasers, so you're going to roll 2 dice, and for every 4+, the enemy gets a marker. You could then take those 2 markers where it says +6 to hit. The X is going to be however markers you spend. So if they have 2 markers, you take those 2 markers, you're now +2 to hit. Your squad goes from hitting on a 4 to hitting on a 2. This army is going to get better with shooting the more spotting lasers you have in it. And in the case where you have a squad, like let's say you have a battlesuit squad that's decked out with flamers, they're reliable, they're going to hit on a 2 anyways, you don't need to mark the unit that you're shooting at. So Say that battle suit squad has a spotting laser, you could spot something else entirely across the board as long as it's within 30 inches and you can see it. And you can shoot at something else. That way you've banked a spotting laser for somebody else to shoot at whatever you spotted. For the army I built for the battle report, there are quite a few spotting lasers. So it's going to be interesting to see how this works out on the board. So with that out of the way, let's talk about spells. The highest you can get for your heroes is a caster 2. It's still a pretty good option. Where you only have the 3 different options for your characters, you might want to put one in there just because. Your spells are Killing Blow 1. Target enemy model within 12 takes 1 hit with AP 4. Patience 1. Target friendly unit within 12 gets stealth next time it is shot at. Boldness 2. Target 2 friendly units within 12 to get +2 to the next time they advance, or +4 next time they rush or charge. Devastating Strike 2. Target enemy unit within 12 takes 6 hits. Deadly Surge 3. Target 2 enemy units within 9. They take 6 hits each. And Pacification 3. Target 2 enemy units within 12. They get -2 to hit rolls next time they fight in melee. So once again, you see a minus to melee squads with that pacification down there. Yeah, the enemy War Disciples is charging at you. Just throw that out there. Be like, oh look, you're gonna hit me on 5s. You're still probably gonna kill a lot of stuff, but not as much. And then Patience giving a friendly squad within 12 stealth. That's some more of the we're going to shoot you and you're not going to shoot back. The Boldness, even though this isn't a slow army and nothing is really good in close combat, it's still good to be able to throw a spell out that gets you to move a little faster. Especially where it's 2 friendly units instead of just 1. It gives you some more maneuverability options. And then everything else is an offensive power that just does what it says on the box. So now we're going to move on into the heroes. Our first hero is the Battlesuit Elite. 195 points, quality 3, defensive 3, ambush, flying, hero, and toughness 6. Has 4 attacks with AP 1 with bash. He has 2 suit burst cannons, 1 shot at 18 inches with rending, and 2 heavy suit burst cannons, 2 shots apiece at 18 inches with rending. You can replace up to 2 of the heavy suit burst cannons with a flamer, an ion, a fuse, a frag, a heavy suit plasma, or a heavy suit missile. These are just different weapons that do different things. The suit flamer gives you blast 3 and reliable. The ion gives you blast 3 with AP 1. The fuse is an anti-vehicle weapon, AP 4, deadly 3. The frag is an indirect blast weapon. The heavy suit plasma, 2 shots, AP 4, 24 inches. And the suit missile, 2 shots, AP 2 with lock on at 30 inches. So you're always going to have the 2 suit burst weapons, and you can only replace the 2 heavy suit burst weapons. Even the next option, you could just replace those 2 bursts with a plasma sword and an energy shield, or you take both of them off for a rapid heavy suit burst cannon, 6 shots at 24 inches with rending. You're going to be able to give him a gun drone, which gives him 2 shots at 18 inches rending, but it's limited, so the drone pulse gun only gets to fire once per game. A mini shield drone for stealth, or a spotter drone for the spotting laser. This guy, you can outfit him to do whatever you want him to do with all the different options he has for weapons. He does not have a purchasable ability to be able to increase the effectiveness of a squad. So he's got nothing that if you put him into a battlesuit unit, it helps out the unit. He just becomes an additional body in that squad, which if you just want an extra battlesuit in there that's a little bit better, go for it. Or he can drop on his own and he can go behind enemy lines with ambush and just do hero stuff off on his own. Then our next character is the Grunt Leader. 45 points, quality 4, defensive 4, hero and toughness 3. 1 attack with a close combat weapon. 3 shots at 12 inches, AP 1 with his leader pulse shotgun. You are going to be able to upgrade him with volley fire, elemental power, or he can become a caster. There's only 2 heroes in the army, and this is the only guy who can take these upgrades. And he does not have an option to make him equivalent of a battle suit. So he's going to be with your ground pounders. This is your long-suffering, non-commissioned officer just doing what needs to be done on the ground. You can give him the same gun drone, which gives you once per game 2 shots at 18 inches with rending. Stealth with the mini stealth drone, or the spotter drone for a spotting laser. You can replace his pulse shotgun with a leader pulse pistol and a ritual blade. And you can replace that pulse pistol with a pulse carbine for 3 shots at 18 AP1, or a pulse rifle 2 shots AP1 at 30 inches. You can replace the ritual blade with a plasma sword, or a plasma gauntlet, or you can replace the leader pulse shotgun with a holy baton, a holy halberd, a holy sword, or a holy dual spear. Everything out of that last section, if you have a model that you think looks cool with those weapons, go ahead. There's not really any infantry options for close combat, so he'll just kind of be sitting there on his own. Unless you really want to get the point reduction and give him the holy baton. Pretty much the best options for this guy are going to be the pulse carbine, the pulse rifle, or keeping him with the pulse shotgun, depending on what the squad you're putting him in is equipped with, just for synergy's sake. Now on to our first troop option. I'm sorry the text is small, but they could take a lot of stuff. Grunt Squad, you get 5 of them for 95 points, quality 5, defensive 4, but they do have good shots, so they're going to hit on a 4. 1 attack apiece with close combat weapons, and they come equipped with pulse shotguns for 2 shots at 12 inches with AP1. You can give 1 model in the squad a gun drone, a shield drone, or a spotter drone. Remember, you can combine this unit, so if you do, you end up with 2 of these. So in the case of a shield drone, only buy that once and then buy a spotting laser with it, or just go for 2 spotting lasers. It's up to you. You can replace all the shotguns with pulse rifles if you want to reach out to 30 inches, and carbines for a middle ground, 18 inches, 2 shots, AP1. You can replace one of the pulse shotguns with a plasma rifle, a burst carbine, a flamer, a fusion carbine, or a support turret with a missile pod, 2 shots at 30 inches, AP2 with lock-on, or a support turret with a smart missile, 3 shots, AP1 indirect at 30 inches. And these options are kind of out of order. You can replace one of the shotguns with a pistol and a ritual blade. You can replace the pulse pistol with a rifle, a shotgun, or a carbine. And you can replace the ritual blade with a plasma sword or a plasma gauntlet. This is going to be your infantry squad in the army, and it comes in 3 flavors. It comes in shotguns for up close and dirty. It comes in rifle for long range, or it comes in carbine for lots of shots at mid range. It's just a question of what do you want this unit to do? How do you want your army to feel theme-wise? Do you want to be up close and personal, or do you want to sit back and shoot at the enemy from your prepared positions? Our next option is the Spotter Squad. 5 of them for 125 points, quality 5, defensive 5, good shot and scout. They're going to be able to get a 12-inch move before the game starts. 1 attack with a close combat weapon, and they come equipped with pulse carbines, 2 shots at 18 inches with AP1. You can replace up to 3 of the carbines with scoped rifles for 30 inches, 1 shot, AP1, and sniper. Sniper means that they can pick who they're targeting, so this will allow you to pick out a heavy weapon, or pick out a character, or pick out someone who's giving medical help to the rest of the squad. You can replace 1 scoped rifle with an ion rifle, 1 shot at 30 inches, blast 3 and AP1, or a rail rifle, 1 shot at 30 inches, AP2 and deadly 3. You can upgrade any of them with a spotting laser. You can also give 1 model an inhibitor drone, a recon drone for beacon, or an accelerator drone. And then you can also give them a gun drone, a shield drone, or an additional spotting drone. So this squad isn't really meant to be a combat squad on its own. It is a force multiplier. With all of the spotting lasers they can get, it's made to sit in a spot where it can see multiple enemy units, or really pick on one enemy unit and drop. What can they take? They could take 4 in a 3. They could take 5. They could take 6 in a 5-man squad between all the different spotting lasers and the spotter drone. So they could pick on a unit, and they can say, I really want that to die. You're going to take all 6 spotting tokens. We're going to use multiple units to just wreck your day. Or they can sit in a spot and they can see multiple things and hand out the spotting lasers however they see fit. Overall, a great choice for the army. Next unit is the Stealth Suits. 3 of them for 235 points, quality 4, defensive 4, ambush, stealth, and toughness 3. They come equipped with a rapid burst carbine for 4 shots at 18 inches with rending, and 1 attack with a close combat weapon. You can replace any of the rapid burst carbines with fusion carbines, 1 shot at 18 inches, AP4 and deadly 3, and you could also equip them with a beacon or a spotting laser. Again, this is a unit that comes in 2 very different flavors. You can keep them with the rapid burst carbines. In case you want to pick on enemy infantry squads that sit in the back, they could pop up, put a spotting laser on them. They're going to hit on a 3 with 12 shots from 3 guys. Or they come in anti-tank version where you pop up next to a vehicle, put a spotting laser on it, 3 shots of AP4 with deadly 3, hitting on a 3. And where the weapon swap is free, it's entirely up to you which direction you want them to go. It's not going to cost you any more points either way. That choice is up to you. Next, we come to the squad that everyone's going to know the DAO Union for, the battle suits. 3 of them for 230 points, quality 4, defensive 3, ambush, flying, and toughness 3. They each get 2 attacks in close combat from their bash, and they are equipped with 3 suit bursts each for 1 shot at 18 inches with rending. You can replace all of the suit burst rifles with plasma swords and energy shields if you want this unit to get into close combat. You can replace any of the suit burst cannons with plasma or missile, plasma for AP4, and the missile giving you some longer range with AP2. You can replace 1 suit burst with a suit flamer, 1 shot at 12 inches, blast 3 and reliable, a suit ion, 1 shot at 18, blast 3, AP1, a fuse, 1 shot at 12 inches, AP4 and deadly 3, or a frag, 1 shot at 24, blast 3 and indirect. Any model can take off 2 of its suit burst cannons for a flamer, an ion, a fuse, or a frag. You can upgrade 1 model to have a gun drone, a shield drone, or a spotter drone for a spotting laser. These are the ultimate build what you want them to be units. In case you're going up against something with lots of heavy armor on infantry, something like the Battle Brothers, replacing everything with suit plasma is the way to go, giving them all AP4 and telling them your armor doesn't matter here. Then for the other weapons, it kind of forces you into a weird hybrid situation, because you can give all 3 of them 1 of the special weapons and then 1 additional battlesuit 1. Like say if I wanted to build a flamer squad, I would take off 6 of the suit bursts for 3 flamers, and then I would have 1 guy rocking 2 flamers. So the squad would be 4 flamers and 2 suit bursts. It seems kind of odd that you just can't do every model has 2 suit flamers, but that's the way it's built. That's the way it's built. Might be an oversight, but what do I know? It might be a balancing thing. So with ambush and flying, this is going to be your workhorse unit. With the flamers, it's going to be drop down and burn through all of the hordes of infantry on the table. With the suit fuses, it's going to be the same thing for vehicles. Plasma is going to be anti-heavy infantry. Frag, it's going to be anti-hordes of infantry just from behind cover, or if they're hiding, you can touch them anyways. And then the suit ion and the suit missile, it seems to be kind of a in-between weapon system. Like with the ion, it seems like the flamer would just be better. And with the missile, it seems like the plasma would just be better. But I don't know every situation. There could be a reason why those are better. I just don't know. Or you could just keep all 9 suit bursts on there because they have rending, and in case your enemy has a whole lot of regeneration, the rending just gets rid of it. Again, I'm saying this a lot, but however you build it, that's up to you. They're going to excel if you put the right weapons in the right situations. The next unit we're coming to is the gun drones. 5 of them for 145 points. Quality 5, defensive 4. Fearless, flying, and good shot. They come equipped with a taser, so every one of them is going to have 1 attack in close combat. And they're all carrying twin pulse guns for 2 shots at 18 inches with rending. You can upgrade them with toxin rounds that gives them poison, or precision rounds that gives them ignore cover. And you can upgrade them all with self-repair, which gives them regeneration. Gun drones are just cool models to have around. And because their twin pulse guns come with rending 2 shots apiece at 18, they're going to be really good against stuff that has regeneration. So if you got a friend that runs a whole lot of Robot Legion, or he puts a whole lot of regeneration on his alien hives, flood them with gun drones. That rending will really put a wrench in their plans. Then our last infantry type squad is the sniper drones. 3 of them for 70 points, quality 5, defensive 4, fearless, flying, and good shot. They all come with pulse rifles for 1 shot at 30 inches with AP1, and they all have 1 attack in close combat from their tasers. And you can upgrade all pulse rifles with a drone controller, which gives them all sniper. So this is going to be an option kind of like the spotter squad, except without any of the spotting lasers. If you put the sniper on them, you're going to be able to use this squad to reach out and touch the heavy weapons, medical guys, or characters in the enemy units that you're shooting at. Nothing spectacular to write home about. There's not much more to say about this squad because they only have the 1 option, so it's up to you. If you want to have 3 sniper drones, go for it. On to the vehicles. Hover Transport, 220 points, quality 4, defensive 2, fast, impact 6, strider, toughness 6, and transport 11. Comes equipped with a heavy burst carbine for 2 shots at 18 inches, AP1 and rending, and twin heavy pulse guns, 4 shots at 18, AP1. You can give it a homing missile for 1 shot at 30, AP2, deadly 3, indirect, and limited, so it's only 1 shot. And you can upgrade it with an anti-charge system, which gives it inhibitor drone, which is enemies get minus 3 inches of movement when they charge you, or a distortion engine, which gives the vehicle stealth. You can replace the twin heavy pulse guns with a twin heavy burst carbine for 4 shots at 18, AP1 and rending, twin heavy frag pod, 24 inches 2-shot blast 3, AP1 and indirect, or twin heavy smart missiles, 6 shots at 30 inches, AP1 and indirect. Now, a good strategy for these is to put your grunt squads with the shotguns inside of them, run these guys forward, and then have your shotguns jump out at short range and blast everything. Make sure you put some spotting lasers on there so your shotguns are hitting on 3s or even 2s if you get enough on there. You can reenact the old Fish of Fury tactics. Next, we are going to come to the Hover Tank. 350 points, quality 4, defensive 2, fast, impact 6, strider, and toughness 12. Comes with a sub-rail gun, 1 shot at 36, AP1 and blast 6, and a twin heavy pulse gun, 4 shots at 18 at AP1. You could also give it a homing missile for its 1 shot, deadly 3 AP2 attack. You could also give it the inhibitor drone and stealth. You could also replace the twin heavy pulse gun with the heavy burst carbine, the heavy frag pod, and the heavy smart missile. And then the main gun, that sub-rail gun, you could replace it with a frag missile array. 2 shots 24, blast 3, AP1 and indirect. An ion cannon, 2 shots at 30 inches, blast 3, AP2. A full-blown railgun for 1 shot at 36, AP4 and deadly 6. Or a homing missile array, 2 shots at 30 inches, AP2, deadly 3 and indirect. So my thoughts on this is the rest of your army, with all the different weapons they have, they are set for anti-infantry killing. This is going to be the weapon system that you use to kill the enemy big stuff. So with that in mind, I'd be looking at the railgun or the homing missile array. The railgun, I would make sure that whatever I'm shooting at has a few spotting lasers on it. That way that 1-shot railgun is not a 50-50 chance to hit. Make it a 2+ to hit, make it hurt. And then the homing missile array, if you want to take that, stick it somewhere where the enemy can't see it. That way you can use that indirect rule as much as possible. Our next unit is the Hover Attack Bike. 170 points, quality 4, defensive 2, fast, impact 3, strider, and toughness 6. Comes with a burst carbine for 2 shots at 18 inches with rending, and twin heavy pulse guns for 4 shots at 18 inches, AP1. You can upgrade it with the anti-charge system and the distortion engine for inhibitor drone and stealth. You can replace its burst carbine with a fusion carbine for 1 shot at 18 inches, AP4 and deadly 3. And you can also give it the homing missile for the limited 1-shot indirect AP2 deadly 3-shot. This falls into a weird hybrid category because it's either going to be all anti-infantry, which the rest of your army has covered if you want to keep it with a burst carbine and the heavy pulse gun, or you can replace that carbine with a fusion carbine if you want to go tank hunting, but you're still going to have that twin heavy pulse gun to aim at something else. But it is fast, so it's going to be fun to have these little things zipping around. That one's going to be up to you. Our next unit is the Heavy Battle Suit. 340 points, quality 4, defensive 2, fear 2, and toughness 12. It comes with 4 attacks at AP1 from Stomp, and 4 shots at 24 inches with blast 3 and indirect from its quad frag pod. You can replace the quad frag pod with a twin heavy rail rifle for 2 shots, AP2 deadly 6, or a quad missile pod, 8 shots at AP2 with lock on at 30 inches. You can upgrade it with a twin plasma rifle for 2 shots at AP4 or a twin suit smart missile for 4 shots at AP1 indirect. You can upgrade it with a gun drone for 2 shots, but it is limited, so you only get that once, or a shield drone for stealth. And you can upgrade it with a homing missile, just like all the other vehicles. So just like all the other vehicles we've talked about, you can keep this guy stock for anti-infantry, or you could take that twin heavy rail rifle and go vehicle hunting with it. It has the ability to do 12 damage a turn if it hits with both of those shots and they go through, because each shot has deadly 6. I think the play with this is going to be give it the twin heavy rail rifle, give it the twin plasma rifle for some AP4 shooting, give it the shield drone for stealth, and the homing missile, that one's up to you in case you think you need to push it to get 3 more possible damage from a one-shot weapon. Next is the heavy stealth suit. 390 points, quality 4, defensive 2, ambush, fear 2, stealth, toughness 12. 4 attacks at AP1 with stomp. It comes with a twin burst carbine for 4 shots at 18 with rending, and a heavy ion carbine, 1 shot at 18 inches with AP4 and blast of 6. You can replace the heavy ion carbine with a heavy fusion carbine, 1 shot at AP4, deadly 6, 18-inch range. And you can replace the twin burst carbine with a twin flamer or twin fusion carbine. And you can upgrade it with up to 2 stealth drones. So just the option to give it 2 individual stealth drones, that means if this guy is 18 inches away from the enemy, he's going to be at -3 to hit. Because those 2 stealth drones stack for a -2, plus he has stealth already for -1 over 9. So he's going to be a pain in the butt to remove if he stays at long range from the enemy. And again, looking at the weapon loadout, I would say go heavy vehicle hunting with this guy again. With the heavy fusion carbine, that's giving you 1 shot for deadly 6, and twin fusion carbines at the same range, giving you 2 shots at deadly 3. In my mind, that would be the play, but what do I know? I'm just an orc. Test it out and get back to me. Let me know how it works. Now, this army doesn't have 1, it has 2 Titans. We're going to start off with the Tide Titan. 610 points. Quality 3, defensive 2, fear of 3 with toughness 18. It comes with 2 heavy plasma swords, has 8 attacks, AP1 and rending for each of them. So it will be 16 attacks at AP1 with rending. It has 6 attacks at AP2 with stomp, and 2 shots AP4 at 24 inches with its twin plasma rifle. You can replace one of the plasma swords with a burst carbine or a heavy ion carbine. Then you can replace one of the plasma swords with a Nova shield to give it stealth. And you can replace the twin plasma rifle for a fusion carbine or a smart missile. Now this is an oddball for the army. This is going to be a Titan that starts out specifically made for close combat. That's a total oddity in this army. But 16 rending attacks at AP1 and 6 AP2 attacks isn't too bad. It's going to be able to charge into a squad of infantry and just wreck whatever it is. Especially with quality 3, it's going to be doing a whole lot of damage in close combat. With defensive 2 and toughness of 18, it's going to last longer than you think it should, unless it runs into like dedicated anti-tank stuff. I don't know, this one's an odd one. I would run it stock, and I would charge this towards the enemy just to get all the heat off of everything else in your army that wants to stay at a longer range. Having one of these guys charge in just screaming is definitely going to get the attention of everything on the other side of the board. Our next Titan is the Surge Titan. 855 points, quality 3, defensive 2, fear 4, and toughness 24. Comes with a cluster rocket, 8 shots at 24 inches with AP1. Has 8 stomp attacks at AP2, and 1 pulse blaster, 3 shots, 24 inches, AP2 and blast of 3. You can replace that pulse blaster with a pulse driver for 3 shots at 36, AP3, deadly 3. You can give it a twin flamer. You can give it a destroyer missile, 1 shot at 30, AP2 and deadly 3. Or twin smart missiles, 6 shots at 30 inches, AP1 and indirect. And if you give it the twin flamer, you can replace that with twin heavy burst carbines for 4 shots at 18, AP1 and rending, or twin frag pods, 2 shots at 24, blast 3 and indirect. This unit looks like it's spending a whole lot of points on its toughness and not as much as it should be on weapons. What I mean by that is its weapons don't seem to be that amazing for its point cost. This might fall into the category of something out of the Titan Lords. While it does have 8 attacks in close combat in case something does charge it, for its weapons, nothing really jumps out at me. It's got anti-infantry covered with 8 shots from its cluster rocket, and it has the potential of 9 hits with 3 shots with a blast 3 weapon. You could then give it an additional 2 blasts with twin flamers, or just go for 6 more shots with the twin smart missiles. But the rest of your army should have anti-infantry covered. As far as anti-tank goes with it, the pulse driver, you're spending 855 points for something that could do 9 points of damage there. 12 if you put the destroyer missile on it. I'm sure the model's going to look cool when you put it on the board, but after the experience I had with the Titan Lords, as of right now, the way the rules are, I wouldn't take this model. But again, that's up to you. So then we come to our aircraft. We're going to start off with the Razor Fighter, 245 points, quality 4, defensive 2, has the aircraft rule and toughness 6. Comes equipped with an ion cannon for 2 shots at 30 inches, AP 2 with blast of 3, and a twin burst carbine, 4 shots at 18 with rending. You can replace the twin burst carbine with a twin missile pod for 4 shots at 30 inches, AP 2 and lock on. And you can also give it that 1-shot homing missile. So you all know my thoughts on aircraft, and this thing looks like it's going to be anti-infantry at best at 245 points to start off with just the ion cannon and the twin burst carbine. I'd rather take a battlesuit squad. And then our last option in the army list is a Sun Bomber for 210 points, quality 4, defensive 2, aircraft and toughness 6. Comes with a missile pod for 2 shots at 30, AP 2 with lock on, a pulse bomb, 1 attack at 6 inches, AP 1 with blast 3, and an ion rifle, 1 shot at 30 inches, AP 1 with blast of 3. And the only upgrade you could do is you can give it one of those 1-shot homing missiles. Again, it looks like another aircraft tooled out for anti-infantry. And with one of the weapons, you pretty much got to park on the enemy to use it. So yeah, with the way I think about aircraft and just the way the rest of the army operates, this is going to be a hard pass for me. So that brings us to the end of the army list, everything you could take in the DAO Union army. Now we're going to move on to our battle report. I went a different direction when I was building this army. It does have all of the basic DAO stuff like battle suits and grunt squads, but the models that I'm using started off as 6mm models put out by the Lazy Forger. I did a painting video earlier in the week that gives a little bit more detail on them, but this just goes to show whenever you're looking for models, inspiration can hit you wherever you go. And with that in mind, let's head on to the battle report. Welcome out to the garage, everybody. This is the 2,000 point DAO Union army that we are going to use for today. If you saw my painting video, you know that these models come from the Lazy Forger. They started off as 6mm models and I've upscaled them to Grimdark Future sized. In our list today, we have 2 grunt squads, both armed with pulse rifles and 2 spotter drones apiece, led by a grunt leader who's also carrying an additional spotter drone and has the ethereal elemental power skill. So that's going to be 3 spotter drones per rifle grunt squad. We have 1 additional grunt squad that are all armed with shotguns. We have a unit of 3 stealth suits, all armed with rapid burst carbines. We have a unit of 3 battle suits, all armed with 3 suit plasmas apiece. Another 3-man battle suit squad, armed with 2 suit bursts and 4 suit fuse rifles. They are equipped with a spotter drone. And lastly, 3 more battle suits, armed with 2 suit bursts and 4 suit flamers, who also have a spotter drone. And they are going to be taking on last week's winner, the Human Defense Force. This is our table today with brand new terrain put together by me and my friend John, who I don't know if he has a company name, but he cuts stuff out of MDF. If he doesn't have a company name, I'm going to browbeat him until he gives me one. So this is the start of our bombed out city. Some of it might look a little wet because it is. I quite literally just finished spray painting it before the camera turned on. The garage is full of spray paint fumes, and I might get a little loopier by the end of the video. So for our mission today, again, there are 6 objectives on the board. They've been spread out a little bit more than usual. We have a couple that are in the deployment zones, and mostly they are out in no man's land, and we're going to see a fight over that between these 2 shooting armies. The way we are going to use the cards is each team will have 5 cards in their hand. At the end of every turn, they can score as many cards as they possibly can, and they are allowed to discard 1 card out of their pile. Then at the beginning of the turn, they draw as many cards as they can to bring their hand back up to 5. For deployment, the Human Defense Force going conscripts, mortars, conscripts, heavy laser cannons, veterans, stormtroopers, ogres, conscripts. Then for the DAO Union, plasma battle suits, rifle squad, stealth suits, and shotgun squad, along with the other two squads' battle suits in ambush. So cards are shuffled. Let's go ahead and see who's got what. DAO Union on the left and Human Defense Force on the right. Seize 1. Cut them down. Big Game Hunter. Seize 5. Seize 3. Take no prisoners. Cleanse the skies, which we are going to take out because nobody has a flyer. And oh, you can see, yeah, I just literally spray painted the terrain. Seize 3. Total dominance. Hold the line. And hold 5. Now to roll to see who goes first. Human Defense Force will take the first turn. First activation for the Human Defense Force right in the middle. Our squad of conscripts here are going to go as fast as they can. Right up the middle of the board. They're going to end up definitely holding objective number 5. First activation for the DAO, our unit here in the middle, is just going to get a sideways step. So they are sitting on number 2. And now they're going to put all 3 other spotting lasers onto that unit of conscripts. So they got 3 spotting lasers. They get spotted on a 4. So 2 will be spotted. So for today, our little tokens, those are going to be our spotting lasers. So now the squad of rifle grunts is going to fire. They're going to use one of the spotting laser tokens. So that means they are going to hit on a 3. We ended up with 8 hits, saving on a 6. We'll have 5 dead conscripts. First blood goes to the DAO. Yep, there's 5. Oh, and one of the tokens they used. Come here. Next activation for the Human Defense Force. They are going to take off through the bush and end up there. Next to activate will be our stealth suits. We're going to go forward 6. And they are going to pick on this conscript squad as well. And they are going to use that spotting laser. So their rapid burst rifles are going to have 12 shots throughout the squad, and hitting on a 3 because they use that spotting laser token. They only ended up with 5 hits, but 3 of them were rending. So there'll be 3 dead and 2 are saving out of 5. So 3 more conscripts go down. 1, 2, 3. The last conscript squad to move is going to double time it up here. Working their way closer to objective number 3. So over here, this rifle squad, the leader is going to use his elemental power and tell the battle suits they can move 6 inches. And they are going to, since they can fly, hop to the top floor here. There we go. Then what's going to happen is this squad is going to put spotting lasers again on that same squad of conscripts. They got 3 lasers. And they were able to put another 2 on there. Hold those for me, buddy. And now they're going to immediately use them to make their shooting hit on a 2. It'll be 10 shots hitting on a 2. Didn't quite need that second one. We got 9 hits. And then they're saving on a 6. Ooh, so they saved 3, but they lost 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is going to need a morale check. We can just do it right there. The company leader has a quality of 4, and they fail. So he's going to look at this guy here, shoot him, and it is passed. So now it's time for the real guns to get down to business. Our stormtrooper squad here is going to go 6 to there. And then they're going to reach up to touch those battle suits. So we are going to start with the AP1 weapons, which is the heavy rifles and the heavy volley guns. It's going to be 12 shots hitting on a 4. Brother. They only pulled off 3 hits out of all that, and then the suits are going to be saving on a 3 because of his AP1, but they are in cover. So they take 2 wounds so far. Then we have 4 plasma shots hitting on a 4, and they all miss. Something tells me you got real lucky on that one, buddy. I'm going to give you 1 wound remaining. So DAO Union turn, they are going to move forward 6. Put themselves down about here. And then they are going to fire into those stormtroopers. So it's going to be 9 shots hitting on a 4. Then they save on a 6. So that's going to be 7 dead stormtroopers. Time for their morale test. And they are going to fail, so they are going to be stunned. Now for the human defense force, the first thing that is going to happen is this captain over here is going to tell this squad to shoot better. So the mortar is going to have +1 to hit. Then our heavy laser cannons are going to go 6 onto the objective here. Then what's going to happen is they are all going to fire at the stealth suits. So the stealth suits have stealth. So instead of a 5, the heavy laser guns are hitting on a 6. Oh, they got 3. And even if we gave them a cover save, they're going to save on a 6. 1 passes. So that means that lone stealth suit needs a morale test. He's going to pass. We get to take off 1, 2. So last activation for the DAO this turn. These guys are going to go forward just enough to be within 12, which is going to be just the edge of this objective, and they're going to fire at those conscripts over there. So no spotting lasers on these, but they do have 20 shots hitting on a 4. So it's 11 hits saving on a 6, and they are going to lose 7. Not quite enough for a morale test, but definitely knocking the numbers down. So this veteran squad is going to go 6 to there, and they're going to shoot at the suits, and they are going to be within, just outside of 12. So we're going to get 2 plasma guns and 2 rifles. So 2 rifles, 1 hit, saving on a 3, it saves. 2 plasma guns, 1 hit, saving on a 6, and it fails. So with 1 wound going through, that's going to be our first battle suit down. Then the mortar squad is going to fire all 6 of its mortars up and over the building and into that squad there. So 6 shots hitting on a 4. We got 4 hits. 4 hits with blast 3 turns into 12 hits, saving on a 4. So they lose 8 models, morale test, and they fail. They are going to be stunned. Last activation for the human defense force. These ogres are going to waddle forward 6 inches. And then we are going to see if they are going to be in range. Nope, just short. Just short of firing at the battle squad. So for the human defense force, they were able to score 1 point with Siege 5. It is the only objective on their side of the board they did not actually start on. And what they're going to do is they're going to discard total dominance because this army doesn't quite work that way. And the 2 cards they're going to pick up are C6, which they're already standing on, and Outflank. So for the DAO Union, first thing we're going to do is I'm going to switch out Big Game Hunter because I did not RTFC, and I didn't realize it said toughness 6 or higher. I thought it was toughness 3 or higher. So that's going to go away. And what we're going to give them in return is Delve Deep. Also, what they were able to score this turn was Seize 3. They got 2 cards for that. They're not going to discard anything, and what they're going to come up with is Charge and Seize 2. So at the beginning of turn 2, we're going to have 1 suit of battle squads coming in. These are the guys with the flamers. We're going to drop it right here into the back corner. Then the second squad of battle suits is going to drop here in the corner as well. These are the one with the fusion guns. First activation going to the DAO Union. We are going to have our fusion gun suits move around the corner. And they are going to fire at the mortars. First thing, they're going to use their spotting drone on the mortars. And fail. So they have 2 suit bursts. 2 hits. It is rending, so save on a 6 and a save on a 5. So 1 wound so far. And then 4 fusion guns hitting on a 4. 1 hit. Save on a 6. And it fails. All that firepower to take out 1 and put a wound on another. Directly in front of all that action, our conscript squad is going to bellow a charge as they're going to slam into our squad full of shotguns. Company leader hits on a 4. Hits. Saves on a 4. Fails. The rest of the conscripts hit on a 6. Nothing. The grunt squad fighting back, hitting on a 5. We got 2 hits, saving on a 5. 1 wound. So 1-1, we end up with a tie combat. No one needs to take a morale test. This squad moved up just a hair, and they are going to burdenate this squad of conscripts with their flamers. First thing they're going to attempt to do is put a spotting laser on that squad. And they do. And they are not going to use the spotting laser, so here are their 2 suit bursts on a 4. 1 hit. Saving on a 6. Fail. And then there are 4 flamers hitting out of 2. So we got 3 hits. With blast 3, that turns into 9. Saving on a 5. So that takes out 7, meaning that a total of 8 conscripts have gone down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the spotting laser is still there. Over here, the storm captain's going to tell his own squad to shoot better this time, and they are going to turn so they can fire at that squad in the corner. 6 shots hitting on a 4. End up with 3 hits, and then these guys are saving on a 6. 1 is saved. I really wish you guys had done more when you hit the ground. The squad of suits here are going to fly and just leg it all the way to this side over here. No shooting because they went too far. Stormtroopers are going to unpin this rifle squad here. They are just going to go forward about 6. And then they are going to use their marker drones and fire at those heavy laser cannons. So first the spotting laser's on a 4. And they get 2, which they are going to immediately use to hit on a 2. So 1 miss. Then the heavy guns are going to save on a 6. With none of them. So it'll be 1 gun, 2 guns, 3 guns go down. All right, so 1, 2, 3. They don't need a morale test yet because they have the captain, so they're technically not below half yet. This unit of conscripts on the flank, they are going to double time it. Actually, they are just out of charge range. They're going to double time it to that objective just to make sure that the DAO Union don't get a free victory point. They're carrying around their mark with them. Over on objective 3, these shotgun grunts are just going to blast into those conscripts. So there's 9 left. There'll be 15 shots hitting on a 4. 9 hits, saving on a 6. They save 1, so that means 8 of them are going to go down. So it's definitely time for a morale check there, and they pass. Conscript squad in the middle is going again to do another double time to get on top of objective 2. Then what's left of this rifle team is going to unpin. The mortar squad is going to ignore that behind them and fire into the shotgun boys. So we lost 1, we're down to 5, and now they're hitting on a 5 because they're not juiced up from the captain. 3 hits. With blast 3, that turns into 9 hits, saving on a 4. So the shotgun squad loses 5, putting them at half strength. Morale test, they pass. Last activation for the DAO this turn, our stealth squad, or our stealth suit, the only one left, is going to go here and fire at those conscripts. So he has 4 shots with rending, hitting on a 4. 3 hits. saving on a 5. 3 dead conscripts. It's going to lead to a morale test, and they pass. So the last 2 activations for the Human Defense Force. The ogres really want to go screw something up, but it is their job to hold on to Objective 6, so they're going to stay parked there. Then the veteran squad is going to move through the recovering Stormtrooper squad. They're going to try to fire at those rifle grunts over there. Yep, we're going to have the 2 plasmas and the 2 rifles in range. The 2 rifles, 2 hits. 1 goes down, and then 2 plasmas, 1 hit, and it saves. So they only lose 1 grunt. So at the end of turn 2, the ogres held 6. The heavy laser cannons are holding 5. And there are no enemy units within 12 of the center, giving the Human Defense Force 5 points this turn. Their new objectives are Seize 4, Hold 3, and Terrify. So for the DAO Union this turn, they were able to score Hold the Line and Delve Deep with 2 units, but not 3 units in the enemy's deployment zones. They end up with only 1 victory point. Their new cards are Area Dominance and Seize 4. So first activation of the turn, our rifle squad here is going to go nuts with the marker lights. Putting 1 here. Yes. Putting 1 on the heavy lasers. Yes. And then putting 1 on this squad over here. Oh, it fails that one. So we got 2 grunt rifles, and the leader has a pulse shotgun for 3 extra shots. So it'll be 5 shots hitting on a 3. 3 hits saving on a 6. Only 1 saved, which is the captain. Morale test. He passes. I think we got Clint Eastwood up here running this squad. Make my day, punks. So the captain, once again, is going to tell the mortar team to shoot better, and his 3 lasers are going to fire into that suit over there. I mean, it's 3 lasers, only one of them's going to get through. It'll work, right? 3 shots on a 5. Oh. Yeah, it'll work. It all missed. With that in mind, this guy is going to jump 6 inches. Boop, put himself there. And he's going to fire at that squad. With the weird way the squad is built, he's going to have the spotting laser, and he's also going to have both of the suit fuses. So spotting laser goes off. He's going to hit on a 3. 2 hits. And they save on a 6. So 2 of the mortar teams are going to go down. Putting them at half strength. They pass their morale test. Over on Objective 1, our conscripts are going to charge the plasma duders. The leader 1 attack on a 4. Fails. 12 conscripts on a 6. 1 hit. The suit saves on a 3. It saves. The 2 suits have 4 attacks back, hitting on a 4. 2 hits. Conscript save on a 5. 2 die. So that means the conscripts lose combat, have to take a morale test. They fail. So the squad leader turns and ka-chow! Oh look, we passed the morale test. In the very back corner, this squad is gonna sneak around. And they're gonna fire their flamers and burninate the ogres. First thing they're gonna do is try to put out their spotting drone, and they pass. Their 2 suit bursts are gonna hit on the 3 now, because they are gonna use that spotted drone. 1 hit. Saving on a 4. Pass. Even though the ogres have those big shields, they don't actually have those big shields. Otherwise, if they did, it would have been a save of a 3. So the flamers, all 4 hit. That turns into 12 hits, saving on a 4. 1, 2, so it'll be 5 wounds total. So that's going to take out 1 and put 1 with 1 wound remaining. The veteran squad is going to go 6. And they are going to shoot at the Flamer squad. Pistol is... Oh, pistol's in range. So 2 rifles hitting on a 4. Fail. 2 plasma rifles on a plasma pistol hitting on a 4. 2 hits. Saving on a 6. 1 wound. This guy, down to 2 left. Shotgun squad is going to blast into those conscripts. 8 shots hitting on a 4. 3 hits. Saving on a 6. 2 fails. Morale test. They pass. What's left of the mortar squad is going to lob shots again into that rifle squad there. Now it's only 3 shots, but hitting on a 4 because the captain told them to just be better. 2 hits. 6 hits with the blast, saving on a 4. So they fail 4, so it'll be the 2 guys. 2 wounds on the leader. He's got 1 left. Morale chest for him. And he fails. So these 2 and you, sir, are the pinned. So our squad hanging out here next to the cactus. They're going to throw around some of their spotter drones. We're going to put one over there on that squad. It passes. Meaning they're up to 2. And they're going to make 2 attempts against the heavy guns. Fail them both. Now they are going to take that spotting laser and fire on the heavy laser cannons. And the squad leader right there is going to fire at that guy. We will start with the grunt leader. He has 3 shots with his grunt leader shotgun. 3 hits, saving on a 6. That company leader is gone. Yep. Then we have 10 shots into the heavy lasers, hitting on a 3 because they used the spotting drone. 7 hits, saving on a 6. So it'll be 5 wounds. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a morale test. They are going to be pinned. These ogres want to brawl. So they're going to go in right there. So they got 6 attacks at AP1 hitting on a 4. 3 hits and the suits are saving on a 4. Ooh, lose all 3. 4 attacks back hitting on a 4. And saving on a 4. 2 wounds. The ogres do 3 wounds, so it'll be 1, 2, 3. And then the suits do 2 wounds, which will be 1, finishing him off. Putting another wound there. So the suits lose combat, and they pass their leadership. So our lone stealth suit is going to come and put his toes on this objective. And then he's going to shoot with his 18-inch range at this squad of conscripts over here. 4 shots hitting on 4. 3 hits, 2 of them are rending, so 2 6s, and then 1 5. So it takes 3 wounds. We're left with just the captain with 2 wounds left. He can't execute himself, so legit, he fails. So he's going to be pinned. So objective 6 does not matter at the moment. Our stormtroopers are going to go 6 inches, and they're going to fire at those suit squad there. 3 plasma shots on a 4. 2 hits, saving on a 6. 1 saved. So there's 1 dude. Oh, I just had it. It's down to 1 wound left. Last activation for the DAO. These plasma suits are going to take those 2 spotting lasers and fire into those conscripts right in front of them. So 6 shots hitting on a 2. They all hit, saving on a 6. They only kill 3. But that's going to be enough to force a test. And they fail. Oh, looks like he already executed this guy. And they pass. Last activation of the turn, he recovers. So at the end of turn 3, the Human Defense Force is able to score C's number 4 and Terrify. They were able to fail. 1 enemy unit was able to fail the morale test. They were not able to make 3 fails, so they only get 1 point. And they're also going to discard hold 3 because that is just not going right in that corner of the board. Their new objectives are hold 6, Executioner, and seize 2. For the DAO Union, they were only able to secure objective number 2, scoring them 1 point. They're not going to discard anything else because they think they can pull off at least some of this, if not all of it. And their next objective is volley fire. First activation of the turn, these two suits, not squads, just going to come to here, and they're going to fire their flamers and their suit guns into the stormtroopers, the 3 lone stormtroopers we got running around over there. Between all of them, there's 2 suit guns, 1 hit, 1 fail, and then there's 3 flamers, all 3 hit, saving on a 4. That's going to be some dead stormtroopers. So 1, 2, 3. We'll at least get some 1 point for volley fire. This mortar squad is going to fire at the shotgun squad over there. 3 shots hitting on a 5. Whiff. This squad of riflemen over here are going to go 6. And they're going to fire at the conscripts right there. We're going to go ahead and try to put our markers on that squad. 1's going to go through, which we are going to immediately use. So with all of the squad, it's going to be 12 shots hitting on a 3 because of the marker. And then all of these are AP1, so saving on a 6. 8 wounds go through. So that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All the way over there in the corner, the ogre is not done yet. Rawr! 3 attacks AP1, hitting on a 4, 2 hits. Saving on a 4. Failed 1. That will take the wounded suit down. The other suit fighting back, hitting on a 4. 1 hit, saving on a 4. 1 wound. So 1 there. And 1 there. Combat tied. Squad over here is going to charge out. Rawr! 4 attacks, hitting on a 5. 2 hits, saving on a 5. Oh, he goes down! The old grizzled captain goes down. And then with their 3-inch, we can go anywhere. They're just going to pop right back onto the objective. Veteran squad's going to blast into that last suit over there. 3 plasma shots hitting on a 4. 2 hits, saving on a 6. 2 fail. 2 rifle shots on a 4. 2 hits, saving on a 3. Save. Morale test for the suit. And he passes. He ends up sticking around with 1 wound left. Last activation for the HDF. They are going to recover. This guy's going to come stand on 4 and fire there. Try to use his marker. Fails. 2 shots hitting on a 4. Missed them both. And the last 2 activations, this guy's going to recover, and he is going to hold right there. So at the end of turn 4, the Human Defense Force did not seize 2. They did not win combat by 3 or more wounds. They didn't destroy any enemy unit. I looked around, and they actually didn't destroy any whole unit the whole game. Hold 6, well, they couldn't hold it at the beginning and the end of the same round. So they don't score that. And then Executioner, they did not kill an enemy hero. Then for the DAO Union, they did not seize 4. They were able to destroy 1 unit in melee with that guy over on objective number 3. That's 1 point. Area dominance, they do control 1, 2, and 3 at the end of the game, so there's 2 points. They do control objective number 1, so there's 1 more point. And they were only able to kill 2 with ranged attacks instead of 3, so they get 1 more point there. So at the end of the game, with a final score of 10-8, the DAO Union wins. Overall, I think that a nearly pure firepower army wouldn't be that good, but paired with their marker drones, giving them the ability to pump up their quality when they're shooting up to a 2, that seems to push them over the edge. That'll be all for the DAO Union today. They are going to move on to the next Grimdark Future Challenger, which next week we're actually going to change it up. I have been working on a zombie army in the background for Age of Fantasy, and one page anon keeps teasing me with stitched together fat zombies that I've been waiting to come out, but doesn't look like they're going to be here this month. So I'm going to make the battle report anyways, going over the Vampiric Undead. So next week it will be the Vampiric Undead versus the Tree Lords, because they were the last Age of Fantasy army we had running that transitioned us over into Grimdark Future. So we'll do a week of Age of Fantasy, maybe 2, depending on how far I get with the next army I'm working on, and then we'll pop back over. So I hope some of you guys have noticed that I am dropping more episodes during the week of either random fun army projects, painting videos, and our campaign games are going to be every other Wednesday for the Age of Fantasy channel campaign. So make sure that you like and subscribe so whenever those videos drop, you're going to get notified. I'm at least doing one additional video a week, dropping that on a Wednesday, and then other videos are going to come out as the wind takes me. But for now, that's going to do it in the garage for this week. Hope you all are having fun out there. Remember, it's just a game. Don't take it too seriously. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.